Talk about your summer if you want.
Sure, I had 2 weddings this summer. Married 2 children this summer. That was pretty special.
You need to work.
Had a great summer. No, yeah, well, yeah, maybe. Maybe.
But the guys mentioned a couple times that with 7 seniors gone, that they feel like people don't know who this defense is, and they want to kind of show who they are. Is that a message they got from you, or?
Yeah, a little bit. I mean, we were picked 3rd in our division, and some people picked North Carolina. They had more first place votes, so probably realistically we're probably even considered 4th or from that standpoint. But in the past we've had some strong defenses, and I think that's given us some credibility going into those votes a little bit. But we've got an untested defense in a lot of places, especially up front, and we've got a lot of work to do. But the big thing, I think we're talented, but at the same time, I mentioned to the kids, I said the big reason is they don't know who you are, and so hopefully we're going to practice with that mentality and that chip on our shoulder, but obviously get better, play within their position, play what the defense demands, and continue to grow. And I like where we started yesterday. It's just a starting point, but we've got to do it every day.
It seems like you've waited. Well, he's had some people in front of him, obviously, who are pretty good, but you've also had to wait for a healthy, fully prepared Chase Williams. Do you feel like you finally have that guy who's ready
I hope so.
hungry now?
I hope so. He's hungry. He's been hungry. We probably had him out of position a little bit because he was playing backer and really kind of played both spots, which is a credit to him and his football IQ. But at the same time, I think he's in a better position where he is at the Mike linebacker spot. Really does a great job communicating, understands our defense. Obviously a coach's kid, but has had a lot of reps under his belt in practice, and now it's his time, and I think he's really excited about his opportunity.
In the interior, what about Luther and Corey get you especially excited? What are those 2 guys together?
Well, together, Luther obviously is a dynamic playmaker. He's proven that. Corey gives us really some quickness and athletic ability inside. He got a little bit bigger this summer. And but those 2 kids, they bring an athleticism, they bring a ability to chase the ball, some ability to rush the passer. That but we still got to be good at the point of attack, which Luther's been, and Corey can do both. I think he can be a guy that can be a matchup issue, but needs to be physical, but he'll be able to do those things.
Just be hungry and go to work every day and keep getting better, keep getting better. But that's been our approach anyway, all summer. They've worked hard.
Is the real focus of this camp? I know you guys are kind of pleased with the first team in the spring, but is it to find depth up front with this?
Well, we've got to, we're very, very thin at defensive end right now. Right now Woody Barron is not in the 105 right now. He's battling, coming back and being 100%. So, you're young, you're getting into your depth at defensive tackle. You had Woody and Nigel with a lot of experience as backups, and then of course Luther and then Corey coming back. But now suddenly Woody's out of the mix, and then your defensive end, Daddy, he's got a little tendonitis in his knee, and that's bothering him a little bit. And now you're into your depth at defensive end. So it's certainly we need to stay healthy. We need to stay healthy, especially with our 8 top guys, on the front. If we can do that and continue to rep those guys, then I know that we will get where we need to be to really be successful and be good enough. Just keeping that continuity and keeping those 8 guys on the field is going to be important.
Do you do anything Mahota? I know he moved inside in the spring. Defensive end concerned because he still played defensive end?
Well, I guess he probably could. I don't think his skill set would allow him to have a ton of success. I think he could be adequate there for you, but I think we've got Vetty in the right spot for him to have a successful playing career here at Virginia Tech, and he right now he's running with the second group. I think he came and kind of finished slightly ahead of Wade in terms of where when we finished the spring. Wade's certainly getting reps. Ricky Walker's getting reps. Steve Sobchak's going to get reps. So to find our our best top, 4 defensive tackles, 5. We'll travel 5.
I know you'll get a better look, obviously, when you get more into it, but based on your depth and what you've seen of like Sobchak and Walker, is there a good chance that one of those guys could play?
Yeah, I think so. Right now, after one day, I would think Ricky Walker would have the upper hand there, a little further along, and then Steve's a little heavy right now. He's a much better player at about 85, 90. He's about 305 right now. So that's going to be, I gave Jenny, our nutritionist, of course, she's aware. She's got a most wanted poster. Watch Steve. Don't let him get too big. That's kind of, he's just so, he's like a lot of us. Loves to eat, all that stuff. You can't, you walk by the buffet, obviously you gain 5 pounds, He's got to watch his weight and stay conscious of that all the time. He does that. He's got all kind of quick twitch, quickness. When he gets heavy, he doesn't have that same quickness. So we're watching that close. But one of those 2 kids, I wouldn't be surprised that play, and it's all going to be kind of, hey, what happens with Woody? Does he come back? Is he 100%? And then, we'll move forward, with those guys.
There's only players on that most wanted, not coaches on that most wanted.
Come on, man. No. Hey, you can only be fat and coach D-line. You can't be fat and play D-line.
2 days in, how's it looking? What are your thoughts?
Well, we've had 1 day of practice. I love the effort. I love the enthusiasm. Obviously, the deal is to sustain that effort level, that enthusiasm, because, as camp moves through, you're playing and practicing and battling against the same guys every day. It can get a little bit monotonous, but good first day. I think we started off, I think a little further probably than we would have without putting in the work that the kids put in this summer in terms of the captains stuff they did. They were doing football related activities on their own, so they worked extremely hard. I think Coach Gentry and his staff did a tremendous job. We're fit. I think Nigel looks great. I think Corey looks great. Luther. We're in great shape, and as this thing goes on, it's going to be very important that we keep that level of intensity and stay healthy and rep the same group. If we do that, I think we will have 8 defensive linemen that we can go to war with, get out there and battle, and be very, very competitive up front by the end of the day.
Daddy Nicholas is up to 231 now. Is what he's listed. You feel better about?
Well, yeah. Daddy, he's one of them guys. Weight fluctuates with him. 5 pounds one way or the other on a daily basis. He's attacking. The thing with Daddy, his challenge was to attack the weight room, and that's where he's going to add the weight, take care of his body from an injury standpoint. I think he had a great summer. He's in good shape. I would love to see Daddy keep getting bigger. Obviously, if he does that, it's only going to improve him as a football player. But I want him to get that little tendonitis, hopefully a little flare up, get that thing under control. I love when he's full speed and practicing full speed, he makes everybody else around him better because he just elevates people by the way he practices, So I'd like to get him 100% without any nagging injury. Finish spring with a little bit of a neck, I don't know if you call it a stinger or whatever it was, but get him, keep him full speed. He's a difference maker for us.